Hello, my name is Owen, and welcome to another installment of my quick recommendation series. There is a plethora of content out there, too much to watch. Therefore, I give you these streamlined recommendations of stuff that you cannot miss. I try to avoid the most mainstream stuff because you already know about that, and give you stuff that may be popular, but it's not popular enough. For this one, I'm going to be talking about the movie Bullet Train. Came out this year, stars Brad Pitt. Quick overview is basically Brad Pitt is like a contract criminal. He does like grab and go missions. He has horrible luck. His mission is to go on this bullet train, grab a suitcase. That's it, right? So the train's going to Kyoto. He has until that time to get the case and just simply get off the train. But chaos ensues because a bunch of other contract criminals like hitmen, assassins, stuff like that. They're all on the train at the same time. They all want that case. And chaos ensues. I loved this movie. I actually really wanted to see it. It came out over the summer in theaters. I really wanted to see it in theaters. I thought the trailer looked like a lot of fun, and Brad Pitt in comedy is something I found that I really enjoyed, and he does a really good job at. However, I guess my threshold for motivation for me going to theater has just risen far too much for me. I had to have been not lazy enough, I guess, to go because I was interested, but I guess not interested enough. So I guess only Top Gun and Marvel movies get me to go to the theaters nowadays. But maybe that's also because it wasn't marketed as like a must-see in theater. So I just kind of like forgot to go, which is a stupid mistake. I wish I would have gone in theaters because this movie is a visual spectacle and it's also just so much fun. I saw it on Netflix. It's on Netflix now, if I didn't say that. I saw it like 2 days ago. And I really didn't know much of the plot other than what I saw in like the very, very first trailer. And honestly, I was very pleasantly surprised by the unique stylization of this film. One of the first scenes, one of the main supporting actors, he's like in the hospital like with his injured son, and then they show his face and it goes freeze frame. It goes the father. I'm like, whoa! I did not expect like this intense like that because it was like a very like serious moment, and like there's the cut like the cheesy like freeze frame like title sequence, and they do that for each of like the characters that are introduced, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a little bit unique, and it tampers with like non-linear storytelling where it's like almost like the Family Guy cutaway where like two characters will be like, remember when we did this, and then it goes like cuts to that and like shows them doing that, which was a lot of fun, and does the thing where you're introduced to a character and then it goes back and tells their backstories for how they got to the point that they just got to. But yeah, Brad Pitt is like the main character of this movie, but really this film is made great in my opinion by the entire supporting cast. They all play unique, wacky, hilarious characters. Special shout out to Brian Tyree Henry and Aaron Taylor Johnson's duo of Lemon and Tangerine. They play brothers and like hitmen essentially, and they are just so funny. They both have like a unique dynamic and they play off of each other so well. They were definitely standouts, like my favorite characters. And also for like the emotional, I don't know the actor's name, but the father character and then his father are like the emotional center. Like their storyline is the only one that's not like comedic in a lot of ways. Because like Brad Pitt, while he's in it the most, there's like nothing serious about this guy. His gimmick is basically he just like has the worst luck. All he has to do is get off the train, but he just can't because he keeps like accidentally falling to the worst scenarios ever. And that's like a common, they call him the ladybug. But it's just a lot of fun. Like his character's most comedic, but like those two characters, the father and son duo, they are like the emotional backbone. And like I thought like when it got emotional towards like the climax, I'm like, okay, this is gonna get cheesy now. But it actually worked quite well. And Michael Shannon as the villain, like the big bad, while he wasn't in it much, he was intimidating enough as the White Death to make like the emotional core work and make him as like a villain, the threat work, and it's a comedic, like wacky movie. And it just worked so well. And I just can't emphasize enough how fun this movie is. It perfectly balances like amazing, fast-paced, snappy action with comedy that varies between like clever and smart to like borderline stupid slapstick type comedy. It has the perfect balance of both of those, and coupling that with like the awesome and like high budget action, it just doesn't get better than this. I feel like action movies nowadays have to be like near perfect, like a Top Gun Maverick, or they have to like have that comedy in there to like really not ground it, but just give it something else to push it over the edge. Because like I've just watched too many boring spectacle action movies like The Gray Man, and I forget the other one. Like I tried to watch Uncharted, like it's just like snooze fest because it takes itself way too seriously, and this movie does not do that at all. Because all the characters are wacky, and they all got, and you could tell the actors are having a lot of fun with their characters. Like Joey King, like her character, absolutely like stellar. I hated her character, but that was the point because she did a fantastic job. And Bad Bunny, he had like his character is like a brief role in it. That's also very funny. And also like speaking of that, there was a surprising amount of like high profile celebrity cameos. Like it just felt like one of those movies where like Hollywood and all like the famous actors got together. Like, you know, what would be really funny if like I like showed up in your movie. Like I know like Brad Pitt did that for like Deadpool 2, so maybe that's why like Ryan Reynolds shows up very briefly in this movie. I don't know if they have like a friendship like that or whatever. But there's many examples of like very famous people showing up for a very limited time, which also added to like the fun nature of the movie. But yeah, overall, it was around 2 hours, but it felt very quick to me. And like the unique storytelling with like the flashbacks and like there's one scene where like the Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry's characters, like Lemon and Tangerine, they're like debating whether or not like how many people they killed in like their last battle or whatever. So they're like, oh, well, let's count. And they go back and we watch that scene like in a different setting, and they're like 1, 2, 3. It's just like stuff like that. It just makes the movie feel fresh. And I saw like the Rotten Tomato reviews, it's like a 50%. Come on, guys, come on. What are you expecting here? The Godfather? God, so stupid. This movie is fantastic. And it's so much fun, and we need more fun movies that are like, and honestly, like I said, the emotional backbone did work. So it has that as well. It's got everything you need. What else do you want? But I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun, and I'm looking for more like action movies that are like centered in comedy, which I feel like this one was and doesn't take itself so seriously. So if you got recommendations for that, I'd be happy to watch. I really want to check out The Nice Guys, which is also on Netflix. That's the Russell Crowe, Ryan Gosling movie. I hear that's a lot of fun. But yeah, check it out, guys. Bullet Train, it's on Netflix. It's one of my recommendations. If you love action, if you love comedy, it's all there. If you like Brad Pitt, if you like the multitude of famous actors that are in this movie, check it out. That's all I got for you guys. Thanks for sticking around. See you.